So, hi dear soulmates, you are welcome to Kunmi Styling YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, I will be teaching you how to master your measuring tape. If this is what you like to learn, kindly watch to the end, subscribe. Thank you. Have some that they don't really take more than just the old numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, wherever, and just half inch. No, and this tape is actually more than that. So I'll be sharing with you how to read this tape, and at the end of this class, everyone in this class should be able to read their tape accurately without any problem. So I'll be drawing what we have on this our tape on the pattern paper for us to see. Then I'll break each of them down to you. Do you understand? So I will advise you not to skip any of this video because they are all important and you will enjoy the class. Thank you. So without further ado, let's move to the class. So let me start by drawing out a straight line just like this. I'll be using marker for us to see it clearly. So of the tape, we have this ring. You cannot see other lines on it. Now let's forget about that. Let's use this one as our 0. So this first line is the first thing that we'll draw here. So we have our 0. The next thing, we have a small line. So we have this small line. And the next one, we have a line that is longer than this. A little bit longer than this. Then we have another line aligned with this. If you follow it promptly, that is the same thing with this line. This way. And we have another line that is longer than this one, but it's not up to this. So here is the line. Yes. Then we now have this small line again. Then we now have this type of line again. Then we now have this small line again. Then we now have this long line, just exactly like this. So you have your one. I hope you understand very well. So let's do another one together. So I'll be doing the rest of the camera. So follow this one, this line. We're good to go. Good to go. We are good to go. So we have this one next to it. Then we have this short one. Then we have this longer one. And we have the short one. Then we have this type. Then we have this short one again.
Then we have this long one. So we're having 2. So our paper, I can only fill in 0, 1, 2, and 3. So now let's start like this. We all know how to read. That's from this ring to this one is from 0 to 1, then 2 inches, then 3 inches. So they are in inch. In Nigeria, most of the designer here, they make use of inches, except if you are being sent cm measurement, then you can convert it to an inches before you make use of it. Thank you. So now, in between 0 and 1, we have a longer line. That is half of this. If you count this line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see it's half of what we have here, and we call that 0.5 or half inch. Do you understand? We have another 0.5 here, or half inch. We have another 0.5 or half inch. So the first thing is you have whole number, that is 1, 2, 3, to either 60 or 120 inches tape. Any tape you are making use of, fine. Now, in between 0 and 1, we have 0.5, or we call it half inch. Now, the next thing, we have half inch, or you can call it 0.5. So if I said measure out 0.5 or measure half inch, that means I'm referring to from 0 to this longer line, and on your tape 0 to this longer line. Can we see it? This longer line, that's our half inch. So I can decide to even go and take my half inch, like 5.5 as my half inch. This 5 to this point, half inch. Do you understand? Hope I'm not confusing you. Fine. Now we have another important line here, which is from in between 0 and 0.5. We have another long line. That is, if you count 0 to this line, we have 1, 2, 3, and you count from here 1, 2, 3. It's like half of this. Do you understand? And half of this will give us what? So let me just take another marker. So in between your 0 and 0.5, you have 0.25 or 1/4. So the third thing we have there is 1/4 inch or 0.25. That is, half of 0.5 will give us 0.25 in decimal, and half in fractional. Half of half, when you divide half into 2, it will give us 1/4. So we can call this one half of an inch. then we call this one quarter of an inch. Do you understand? So if I can say measure out quarter of an inch or measure out to quarter of an inch, that means I'm referring to 0, then 1 inch, then 2 inches, then this will give me 2 to quarter of an inch or 2.25. Do we understand? Like another 0.25 here or 1/4, another 0.25 yes, another 0.25 here or 1/4, another 0.25 here or 1/4, another 0.25 here or 1/4. Do you understand? Another 0.25 here or 1/4. That is how it goes. That is how it's spread out. Do we understand? So if I said measure out 0.25, that means I'm telling you to measure from this 0 to 0.25. If I said measure out 1.25, that is from 0 to 1, then I will measure on this 1.25. Do we understand? This thing is very simple. Don't confuse yourself. Just look at it. This is 1 inch and this will give me 1.25 before my 1.5. Do you understand? So the next thing that we need to touch is we now have this small inch like this on our measuring tape, and we call that what? Half of this, half of quarter of an inch. Half of this will give us 1/8 inch or 0.125. Do we understand? It's very simple. This is it in fraction and this is it in decimal. Now, this value here is mostly used in rare cases. Let's say, for example, we have 0.3 or 0.4. Do you understand? Like 0.3 or 0.4. Maybe after you divide something, you have 0.3, you have 0.4. How are you going to make use of this? Now, after 0, you have 0.125. And after that, you have 0.25. So if I said measure out 0.3 or 0.4, that is less than 0.5, I'll make use of this number here, this line here, that is on my measuring tape. I might not get it from here, but let's use it from here. That's this small inch before my half inch will give me 0.3 or 0.4. Do we understand? Like if you press your calculator and you had 0.25 plus 0.125, you are going to have, is that 0.3? Or when you approximate it, you can have 0.4 as your answer. But I don't want to be going into that. I don't want to confuse you with that, because most people, they hate mathematics, and mathematics is just, it work handy with fashion, because you do division, it's just all this small mathematics. But I bet you with what I'm telling you now, you will not have issue in reading your tape. So now we have this one as 0.125 or 1/8, 0.125 or 1/8, 0.125 or 1/8. 1 over 8, 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 and so on and so forth. To really understand. So now this 1 over 8 again, before 1, we can make use of it as 0.8 or 0.9. Do we understand? Now there is another important thing that we have not talked about here. That one is 3/4 of an inch. That's 3/4 inch or 0.75. We call it 3/4 of an inch. When we divide an inch into 4, just like what we have here, 0 and 1. If we divide it into 4, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And each part giving us 1 over 4, that's quarter, quarter, quarter. So now this from here to here will give us 0.75 or 3/4 of an inch. Do you understand? So right now, let's say from here, another one to this point, 3/4 of an inch, and another one from here to here, 3/4 of an inch. So I can say measure out 3/4 of an inch or 0.75. That means from this 0, this is 0.5, and if I add 0.25 to 0.5, it will give me 0.75. You can cross-check on your calculator, you will see it. So if I said measure out 1.75, that is my 0 to 1, then I will add 0.75 to it. This is my 1.25, this is my 1.5, this is my 1.75, or 1/3/4 of an inch, 2/3/4 of an inch, 3, if I still have another line here, 3/3/4 of an inch. That's how it goes. So now on our tape measure, you can see that we have more than just whole number that we are seeing, because they cannot start writing all these numbers on it, except we have bigger tape, that all this space that you are still seeing, there are still numbers, like half of 0.125 is going to give you 0.1125. Do you understand? So that is how it goes. It's very simple and very easy to do. So you can just go back to it over and over and over and over, then you see it. This is the tool that most people use, but no, we still have these 3 inside this tape measure. I think at the end of this class, everyone in the class should be able to read their tape measure accurately without stress. Do we understand? That is this.
If this video is helpful, please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.